Completing the square. Sometimes you're going to be given the equation of a circle which is not in standard form. You need to be able to transform the equation to standard form in order to find the location of the center and the radius. For instance, it's not clear what the radius and center are of the circle described by this equation. X squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 12 equals 0. To find the radius and the coordinates of the center, we need to transform the equation above into the form x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The first step is to separate groups of terms which have x, which have y, and are constants. Just moving those around makes this equation x squared minus 4x plus y squared equals 12. So we've put brackets here, and we've added 12 to both sides. Take a moment to confirm that this is true. We already see that the y-coordinate of the center is 0, k equals 0, since y squared is by itself. But what to do with the expression x squared minus 4x? We have to convert that into the form x minus h squared to find the x-coordinate of the center and then the radius. If you recall, when completing the square, you divide the coefficient of x by 2, square it, and add that number to both sides of the equation. So dividing the coefficient, negative 4, by 2 yields negative 2. So h equals 2. Then h squared equals 4. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then we add 4 to the other side as well. So this can be simplified to x minus 2 squared, and 12 plus 4 becomes 16. The center is at 2, 0, and the radius is 4, because this is r squared, so the square root of 16 is 4. The same steps are used to find k when needed, as in the next example. In general, the steps given below are used to determine the equation of a circle. Note that the coefficients of x and y are negative. Here we have x squared minus 2hx plus y squared minus 2ky equals c. Divide the coefficients of the x and y terms by negative 2 and square them. Add these terms to both sides. So we have h squared and k squared, and we've added those to the right side of the equation as well. Factor the perfect square trinomials on the left side of the equation. So this becomes x minus h squared, and this becomes y minus k squared. Determine the radius and center of this circle. X squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 6y plus 6 equals 0. The first step is grouping the terms. So we have everything that has an x in it in the front, and then we put that in brackets. And then we take everything that has a y in it, so y squared and 6y, and put those in these brackets. And then the constant 6 we put on the other side, so we subtract 6 from both sides. Alright, then we complete the square for the x terms and for the y terms. So here we have negative 2x, so we divide that by 2 and we get 1, or negative 1. So then we square that and we get positive 1. So we've completed the square, we get x squared minus 2x plus 1. So we've added 1 here to this left side of this equation, so we have to add it over there as well. Then we move on to the y, we complete the square here. So we have a 6 as the coefficient of y, so we divide that by 2, we get 3. Then we square that, we get 9. So we add 9 to both sides. Then we simplify these into their perfect squares. So this would be x minus 1 squared, and this is y plus 3 squared. And then we combine these constants, we get 4. This is r squared, therefore the radius is 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. And here we have an h value of 1 and a k value of negative 3.